Yo, what's going on YouTube? Technically T bringing you another case review for the iPhone 11 Pro Max. You already see, man, we got some cases up from Caudabe. Now, a huge shout out to Caudabe for reaching out to me, dropping these cases to review. And you already see, man, we got some black stealthy cases. Love their cases, man. Some of my favorite cases on the market. Now, I'm not just saying that because they sent me these cases. And I'm gonna tell you a funny story, man. I actually bought one of my favorite cases from Caudabe because that's how much I like them, man. Bought the case, they emailed me back and was just like, yo, what in the are you doing? We're gonna refund you your money back and we're gonna send you some cases to review. So you gotta love a company like that. But that just goes to show you that I am willing to purchase some of my favorite cases, and even if I don't know if they're gonna get sent to me, man. I just keep it a buck with you. So I have a good relationship with these guys, man. Absolutely hilarious email when I got it. So shout out to you. You know who sent that email, man. But let's go ahead and get into it. We have the Sheath, we have the Synthesis, the Veil, and we have the Lucid Clear. So let's just go ahead and get into each one by one. I always start off with the least protective, and that's going to be the Veil. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here it is, Caudabe Veil, man. Stealth Black 2019 new iPhone. Minimalistic, man. This is what their case, minimalistic perfection. That's kind of what their thing is. So let's just go ahead and get into this case and let's see what we are working with. Now, the Veil is always going to be your super duper, and I mean super duper, thin case from Caudabe, man. And when I say thin, I mean absolutely thin. This thing is like feather thin. It's going to be very minimal protection. So if you're out there and you want a little bit of, bump protection, a little bit of scratch protection, this is what this case is going to give you, man. You kind of have a plastic, a plastic feel on this case. You do have just cutouts for your buttons, no raised buttons or anything like that, just cutouts, and down below you have just individual dots for your speakers. So let's go ahead and grab the 11 Pro Max and let's go ahead and slide it in the Veil XT, because the one thing about the Veil, man, I say the Veil XT, but the Veil, one thing about this is it fits good. It is surprisingly a good fit for this small, thin case, and that's the reason that I really enjoy it, man. So let's go ahead and take a look at this case. On the back, with it being very thin, you still have a slide lip that's going to raise up just a little bit, so when you put your iPhone on the ground, you don't have to worry about it rocking because it's not actually making contact with the camera lens itself. So that's a very nice little feature. Taking a look on the bottom, man, you see your cutouts are spot on. Now, I'm not sure if you can see those speaker ports, but you're not seeing any kind of, stainless steel bounce back. So that's telling you that the cutouts are going to be spot on there. Taking a look at the power button. Now, the power buttons are going to be a little hard to get to because it's not raised. So with it not being raised, it's going to be very flush to the actual phone. So if you're looking at the side right here, you really can't even tell where the power button starts at. Same thing with the volume up and down. You kind of know where they are just from natural being an iPhone user, but I probably would like them to stick out a little bit more. Now, I know the buttons of the iPhone can't stick out, but I don't know, man. I would like for it to be a little bit different, but it's not absolutely terrible. It's just have to take some getting used to, and get into that mute toggle switch, of course, is not deep at all. Taking a look at the lay on the table protection now, it's just kind of non-existent. If you drop this case with this phone in it, man, I don't know what you expect when you are to pick this phone up. I mean, because this is a the most minimalistic case that you could potentially get out there on the market. So don't expect to get a bunch of drop protection because it's just not going to happen. And that's all we're going to have to say about that. The drop protection just isn't there, but that's not what this case is for. Next up, how does the case actually fit on the phone? And this is what blows me away about the Veil. This case fits amazing, man. Like, you really have to pull it to get this case to come off, man. But overall, this little plastic case fits very good, and once it's up here, you really can't even tell. If you're a person, and let's go ahead and move into how it feels in your hand, if you're a person who likes to use your phones naked, get the Veil, because this is going to add that little bit of matte material on the back that's going to give you that great feel. The great feel in your hand is going to give you a lot of grip. Definitely more grippy than the stainless steel size. In my opinion, definitely more grip than the matte back on the new iPhone 11 Pro Maxes and the 11 Pros. And of course, dropping down on wireless charging, it works just fine. So yeah, man, here it is, Caudabe Veil. Love this little thin case. Next up, let's take a look at the Lucid Clear. Now, this is going to be your clear case offering from Caudabe. This is basically going to be kind of like a snap-on case. You can see here the sides have those little breaking points. So this is basically going to be a snap-on clear case, kind of like your Veil XT, but yet it's going to be a little bit more protective, a little bit more material to work with. So here it is, man, Lucid from Caudabe for the 11 Pro Max. So let's go ahead and take a look around this case. So flipping it over on the back, you do get that camera hump protection. On the bottom, you see all of your ports and everything are cut out. Once again, just like the Veil, you do get your individual dots for your speaker ports. Now, taking a look at the button layout, these have cutouts, but they are very large cutouts. And with them being very large cutouts, it lets you know what button you're actually pressing. Now, this is kind of what I want on the Veil. I know it's a lot to say because that's more your thin case, but this really lets you know where your buttons and where the ones that you're pressing at. Now, I'm not usually a fan of just cutouts, but if I had to have cutouts, this is the iteration that I can have because they are very large enough to where you can find out every button that you are pressing. So very nice job with the button layout here. Next up, let's take a look at the lay on the table protection. Now, I'm rubbing my finger here and it does have a little lip, but overall, I don't think this is much of a lip to really protect you if you were to drop this phone. I'm just being 100% real with you. If you're looking for a little bit more protection, it's some of the cases that I have coming up from Caudabe, but it does have a little tiny lip, man. I mean, super duper tiny, if any. So just know, man, this isn't going to be your heavy duty protection. Really, Caudabe really isn't made for your drop protection. These are for minimalistic people who are kind of careful with their phone. That's kind of reason why I like their cases a lot. So drop protection is at a very minimum when we're talking about this case. Next up, how does it actually fit on the phone? And the fit is absolutely amazing. Tugging on the sides, it's not going anywhere. This case is going to be like your hard plastic, so it's not really TPU. So therefore, you know hard plastic isn't going to give. So I have to give an A+ fit for the Lucid Clear, man. I mean, this is surely shaping up to be one of my favorite clear cases out there for the 11 Pro Max so far that I review right now on the channel, man. So A1 when we're talking about the fit. And how does it actually feel in your hands? Now, once again, this is a clear case, so you know they don't really have tons of grip, so you already know that it could potentially get a little bit slippery if your hands develop moisture and different things like that. But overall, man, very nice case, keeps a very thin profile. Dropping down on wireless charging, boom, works just fine with wireless charging. One of my favorite clear cases right now for the 11 Pro Max. I mean, super crystal clear, if you can see that. I feel like it's a little bit more clear than the other clear cases, man. So if you got a nice midnight green or whatever color 11 Pro Max that you want to show off the color of it, man, definitely go ahead and check out the Lucid Clear. Next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the Sheath. Now we get into the heavy hitters when we're talking about Caudabe. If you didn't see my top iPhone XS Max videos, I will make sure to link that above. But this was one of the top 5 cases, man. I'm pretty sure it's going to be in there again when we are talking about the 11 Pro Max. But let's just go ahead and take a look at the actual sheath. Let me go ahead and take it apart the packaging. I really like Caudabe's packaging, man. This black is just looking so stealthy, man. So here it is. Let's go ahead and get to it. Here it is the sheath for the 11 Pro Max. This is going to be your TPU style case. Now don't get it twisted. You see it looks a little flimsy, but I promise you it fits better when it's actually on the actual phone, man. So the back of it, you're going to get kind of like this sandpaper material. Very nice material because it gives you a tons of grip. And I just can't commend how much this case, how much I always have loved this case from Caudabe. So here it is on the 11 Pro Max. Let's go ahead and go around it real quick. So on the back of it, you see, of course, you get that raised camera bump. Flipping over on the bottom, you get cutouts for your speakers and your lightning. Take a look at that tactility on the buttons. Nice and tactile, volume up, volume down, not hard to press at all, and getting to that mute toggle button is very easy. Taking a look at that lay on the tail protection, you see at the top it does have a little lip, and on the bottom, and really just all the way around, it does have a lay on the table protection. So once again, not rated for heavy duty drop protection, but it does give you just enough lip. If you were to set it face down on the table, man, you should be good to go. Next up, how does it actually fit on the phone? And just like I said, it did look a little flimsy when it was off the phone, but with it on the phone, it definitely has a decent fit all of the way around. Really isn't no issues. Once this case is on, it is on. It's not coming off. Now, I know a lot of you saying like, T, why aren't you slamming this case because of the fit? I've personally used this case for a very long time. Now, even though it does give a little bit on the sides, that doesn't change at all while using the case. It doesn't get weak over time when you get it out in heat or anything like that, man, this material really stays intact and you don't really have to worry about the little flecks that you get on the side. So I just have to say that there. But overall, man, very, very nice fit when it comes to the sheath. And how does it feel in your hand? This is one thing that I really, really like about this case. It feels very good. The material that this case is made out of is very grippy, and you aren't really going to drop this thing, man. It really feels like you have a really hardcore grip on this phone, and it isn't going to drop out. It's just a nice, the material is just making it a pleasant experience to hold on to. Works with wireless charging, man. So here it is, the Caudabe Sheath, one of my top 5 favorites out there, man, that I have reviewed on the channel so far. The Sheath always holds a special place, man. I really, really like this case, so definitely check it out. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at the Synthesis, man. Now, this is definitely one of my favorite cases from Caudabe as well. The Sheath and the Synthesis both get it done for me. I don't think I reviewed this for the XS Max, man, so it's probably been a while since I actually reviewed this case, but let's just go ahead and get into it. And this case is going to be made a little bit different, man. You have a hard style plastic here with a very firm TPU material going on the outside, very hard rubber that is pretty rigid for the most part. And you see the cutouts, you see everything spot on. So let's go ahead and slap the 11 Pro Max in here. And let's just go ahead and take a look and see how this case actually looks and how it feels. So first things first, let's take a look on the back. You see you get that raised camera protection, so you are good there. Flipping it over on the bottom, you see all of your ports and your speakers, your lightning, everything is good there. Let's go ahead and check out the buttons. Very nice tactility on the buttons. Power button, volume up, volume down. Can't really hear it, but they press very good, and getting to the mute toggle switch is not hard to at all. Taking a look at that late on the tail protection. Now you do get a nice little lip that goes all the way around it. Once again, not heavy duty drop protection, but it definitely has enough lip. If you did want to rest it on the face, you should be good to go. Almost gave you a live drop test right there, but you should be good to go if you want to rest this phone face down. Next, how does it actually fit? Now the Synthesis fits amazing on it. This very, very stiff rubber on the sides doesn't give much. So once this case is slapped on, it's up there. Is it coming off? So you don't have to worry about any accidentally slip outs or anything like that, man. Very, very nice case overall when it comes to the fit. And how does it feel in your hand? This definitely feels pretty good. Yes, you get that hard plastic on the back that is a little bit slippery, but when you come here to the sides, you get this pattern right here along the grips. Now, a lot of cases fail in that category because they never put any grip on the sides of it, but this gives you that grip, but that gives you just enough grip to make this phone very, very grippy in this case, man. And I just absolutely love it. And another thing about this case I think a lot of people gloss over is on all the 4 corners, they do have raised edges. So when you place it down on the actual back of the phone, it's not resting on the hard plastic. It's actually going to be resting on these little rubber tabs, and that's going to prevent the back of the case from getting all scratched up. And of course, work with wireless charging. Yes, it does, man. So here it is, the Caudabe Synthesis for the 11 Pro Max. So here are the cases for the iPhone 11 Pro Max from Caudabe, man. Veil, Lucid, Clear, Sheath, and we have the Synthesis. Absolutely amazing cases. You really can't go wrong with either one of them, man. It just depends on what kind of flavor that you like. They definitely have a case for you, man. And they also have other colors and variations of these cases. So head over to their website down in the link below. Check them out, man. Tell them your boy T sent you, man. So on the way out, make sure you hit that like button. You already know, smash that sub button if you rock with your boy. But I'll catch you on the next one. Later.